Do you need to cut costs when it comes to food and your grocery budget? This is something that I have been reevaluating, looking at currently, and I thought might be helpful if I walked you through the process that I'm using. So, here we go. Welcome back to the Your Money, Your Life podcast. I'm your host, Aimee Cerka, and today I'm walking you through the process that I've been using, and of course, it's the one that I always teach, on how to evaluate what costs that you need to cut. And specifically, let's talk about food today. Okay. So I don't believe that the solution ever is to cut everything and just as cheap as possible because you're going to sacrifice your health. And your health is just as important, if not more so, because I would rather you spend a little bit more on good quality food, that or nutrition, taking care of yourself, and then not having to spend more money on the long run on health bills, etc., all those things. Because if you are not able to work because your health is poor, then you're not making money there. So, see where I'm coming from? Your health is always important. So, I still use a lot of the same strategies that I've always used, buying in bulk where it makes sense. So there's some things that I won't buy in bulk because we don't use enough of it for it to make like logical sense. But I love using Sam's. We go to Sam's quite frequently. Then grocery pickup is another one that I use all the time. I've actually used grocery delivery now. I have the Walmart Plus, and honestly, even just the amount that we save on the gas from their member benefits pays for the subscription itself. You can do the year one, then it's even cheaper. But then my groceries are delivered to my front doorstep, and you could turn off substitutions, all the things. They normally do all right with, picking things out, produce wise, etc. Overall, like it saves me quite a bit of time because I don't have to run to the store and drag all the kids with me. It also saves me money because we're not tempted to impulse shop, pick things up. Now, of course, we can dive into this another day, like grocery shopping smartly. Don't go to the grocery store when you're hungry, all those things. But even if you just take like that aside, you're not impulse spending, doing things, buying things that you probably won't necessarily eat, won't necessarily want. You're not even tempted to do that when you do the online, either grocery pickup or delivery. Okay. But what am I leaning into right now? So I have always done a strategic meal plan, rotating meals, less decision fatigue that we have to go through. Let me know if that would be helpful. We can do another episode on that, like how we meal plan for success. That's really not as much what I'm leaning into right now. I have revisited our kitchen inventory. So I keep an inventory, everything in the pantry, freezers. I'm looking intentionally at things that, just kind of keep getting missed that we haven't eaten. What can we utilize on hand that we already have? What are we actually eating right now? Because we'll make these lists, we'll make these inventories, and we're keeping things on hand. But like our preferences change over time. So that list has to constantly be evolving. So reevaluating, re-looking at what we have. And if we have extra of one thing on hand, like a lot, okay, how can I intentionally, what are some recipes that I can look on Pinterest? Like, okay, right now there is several cartons of egg whites in the fridge. I don't even know like how that happened, but like, okay, what can I use intentionally this week to use up some of this? And then next week, let's find something else. Keeping mindful in just like the planning there. Okay. So that's the first part, being intentional with the kitchen inventory. The second thing that I'm really leaning into right now, just there's been a lot going on. So I'm leaning into my go-to meals. What else can I add to the go-to meals? What can I do to kind of freshen it up, make it different? If you haven't heard before, go-to meals are like just budget saver. So that whole you've been busy, you had this plan probably for dinner, at the beginning of the day, but you get to whatever, 5 o'clock, something, crap, it's dinner time. You don't know what you're going to make. Your go-to meals is a list of simple meals that you can get on the table in about 30 minutes. You keep these things on hand with your kitchen inventory, whether it's, breakfast for dinner or chicken nuggets and mac and cheese, keeping it simple, but keeping things on hand so that when those tough moments hit and you have to make something for dinner and you don't know what to make, you have those resources available to you and you're not going to just go get pickup or takeout. There we go. We're not just going to go buy takeout because we don't know what we're going to make for dinner. So have a list. Right now, my goal is to expand the list. What else could I put on my go-to meal list to help keep varieties. Because if we're leaning more into that right now, I don't want to burn us out, but I also want to make sure we're getting what we need to. So coming up with different ways, we do a lot with, like greens and stuff in the morning. So I know we're at least getting one dose of vegetables, but there's always more. We're going to get to eat salad from my Arrow garden that I got for Christmas, which is super exciting. But using more of the things that you already have and just taking a fresh look at it, because we can get into this autopilot where we just do the same thing over and over and over and over again, which is good to an extent until you're burnt out on it or it's no longer working. And that's what you really would need to spend the time and reflect on. So, if this is helpful, we are going to bring update to the Meal Planning Made Easy workshop. Let's see. We can figure out how to make that available. Like an opt-in. Okay. Go to aimeecerka.com/meal if you want to be notified when that's available. We're doing more of these live bite-sized workshops this year. And of course, if you're inside Money Mastery Academy, you get everything. So if you're just ready to finally figure out the money thing in the next 12 weeks, put the link to the Academy in the show notes as well. All right, let's see. Talked about that I still buy in bulk. Still recommend grocery pickup, grocery delivery. Those things haven't changed. We're still strategic meal planning. All those three things we're keeping the same, but the kitchen inventory and updated, realistic kitchen inventory and leaning into the go-to meals, being more intentional with that, what's included, different things that could work. I know you're busy. I know there's a lot going on, and these tools can definitely help you. So if you want to learn more about the Meal Planning Made Easy workshop, go to aimeecerka.com/meal. All right. That's what I got for now. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much for listening to the Your Money, Your Life podcast. Wondering what's next? When you're ready, there are different levels of support that you can use on the path to creating unstoppable finances and your unstoppable life. After all, your finances are unique and your support should be too. Ultimately, we'll create a customized plan to ditch financial struggle for good that works for you, your goals, your priorities, your life. Go to workwithaimee.com to get started with one of our most popular programs, or you can book a Q&A call with me and we'll figure out what your next step should be.